All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're exploring a really big and honestly pretty provocative idea. It's this vision that says the core principles of Bitcoin could do way more than just, change our finances. The claim is they could completely reshape our entire world. So let's get into it. So where does this massive idea even begin? Well, it all starts with just one number, 21. Now, according to the vision we're breaking down today, this isn't just any old number. Think of it more like a key, a fundamental constant that unlocks everything else we're about to talk about. And that leads us to this huge, almost unbelievable question that this whole idea is built on. I mean, it's a massive leap, right? But the argument is that if you can really grasp the power locked inside this one number, you can see a blueprint for a future that looks, well, radically different from today. So what is it? What's so special about 21? It's the hard cap. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, period. And the source we're looking at frames this as way more than just a technical detail. It's a huge philosophical statement. It's about absolute scarcity, drawing a line in the sand against inflation, which this vision describes as the silent theft of our most precious asset, our time. Okay, so you have this unchangeable foundation. How does that actually change society? Well, this vision argues that the kind of money we use shapes everything around us. And it paints this picture of a stark contrast between the system we have now and one built on what it calls sound money. And the way these two systems are described is really vivid. On one side, you have our current fiat system, which is called money that melts. The idea is that its value is constantly eroding, right? It pushes us into this cycle of constant consumption and only thinking about the short term. But on the other side, you have the Bitcoin standard. That's described as hard money, a solid, stable foundation. And according to this argument, that single change completely flips our incentives on their head. So, what happens when you make that switch? I mean, what's the real-world result? Well, according to this vision, you get nothing short of a new renaissance. Think about it. When money actually holds its value, people start investing in things that last. Instead of disposable junk, you see capital flowing towards incredible architecture, timeless art, and scientific research aimed at solving humanity's biggest challenges. Energy, health, space, not just chasing the next quarterly profit. It's a fundamental shift from a culture of the temporary to a culture of the permanent. But it doesn't stop with just a cultural shift. This vision expands into the world of geopolitics, making a really bold claim that this kind of money could actually be a catalyst for global peace. And the argument here is pretty direct. It asks, how do governments pay for these massive, long-running wars? The source claims they do it by basically creating money out of thin air, by printing it. And what that does is it hides the real immediate cost from the public. Instead, it gets paid for later through the hidden tax of inflation, which just devalues everybody's savings. So, the proposed solution logically follows from that. If a government can't just print money on a whim to fund a conflict, it has to pay for it with existing capital. That makes the cost immediate and totally transparent. The argument is that this would make war prohibitively expensive. It would force nations to focus on trade and diplomacy instead of just brute force. Okay, so we've seen the proposed impact on culture and on nations. But what about the individual? The final pillar of this vision is all about what the source calls the sovereign individual. Now, in this view, becoming sovereign isn't something that happens overnight. It's a convergence of 4 key things coming together. First, you need a culture that makes this new technology approachable and understandable. Second, you need a new technical foundation on the network itself, which is referred to here as runes. Third, you've got the whole digital landscape that's evolving with AI and Web 4.0, the next generation of the internet. And finally, there's a physical anchor, the freedom to live wherever you want while staying connected to the whole world. So what does this new citizen of the future actually look like? Well, they're not tied down to one place. They can live anywhere, from a bustling city to a remote village, and work globally. Their savings, their wealth, is secured in a way that, in this view, can't be devalued or taken away. Their personal identity and data are protected by cryptography, but the real key here is that final point. This person is no longer just a subject of a state. They're an independent, sovereign node in a massive global network. Okay, I know what you're thinking. These are huge, kind of abstract ideas, right? The source material gets that, and it introduces a really surprising element to make it all feel more human, more approachable. It introduces a mascot. So meet Biddy. According to the source, Biddy is the friendly face of a hard technology. It's the bridge. It's a symbol designed to show that the hardest technology in the world can have the friendliest face. It's really a way of saying that this isn't just about cold, hard code. It's a movement with a heart, with history, and with a future that's meant for everyone. And that brings us right back around to the core thesis of this whole thing. This vision isn't just about financial advice or, changing what's in your portfolio. What's being proposed here is a fundamental shift in the operating system of human society itself, a total reboot. And this is the powerful statement that really ties it all together. That hard limit, that 21 million, is framed here as being so much more than just a feature. It's a principle. It's a conscious choice to build our world on a foundation of mathematical certainty, instead of, as the source puts it, the chaos of the current system. So there you have it, a blueprint for a whole new civilization, all spinning out from a single number. It's a vision of a new renaissance, of global peace, and of individual sovereignty. The source presents this as the key to the future. And so that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. What would you do with it?